Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Elma, and today we're going to be going through my Game Week 12 team selection together with my Game Week 11 team review, which feels like it's been a long time ago. And then I'm also going to go through my Game Week 12 transfer thoughts. But before we get into that, I finally managed to hit 650 subscribers, and the next goal is going to be hitting 700 subscribers. So if you're new around here and you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a like, and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss any content going up on the channel. And not wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So first, we're going to start off with my Game Week 11 team review. This feels like it's been a long time ago. Honestly, thank God the international breaks are no longer going to be interfering with the Premier League side of things. And I'm sure the whole world is happy that international breaks are done and dusted until March or April, somewhere around there. So for my Game Week 11, we managed to score 78 points, take my overall points 686, and a huge green arrow from 284,000 to 219,000. Of course, you're pushing for top 50k, and it's still up for grabs, but we have to keep on pushing and hope that luck favors us, of course, because FPL is a game of luck at the end of the day. So we had Fabianski in goal, 9 points. Mikolenko and Etnuri both keeping clean sheets for their respective teams, 6 points. Rico Lewis only managed to scoring 0 points since they conceded 2 goals, and I think he got a yellow card, so 0 points from him. Then we had Mo Salah with 14 points. I think he scored and got an assist, and of course picked up all bonus points, so 14 points. Kulusevski is a little bit disappointing. I think it's time to go from the team, but I'll talk about my transfers later on. Kulusevski with 2 points, then Smith Rowe, who stole the show for me in the midfield with a goal and an assist, I think so. So 11 points for him. Then you had Mbuemo, who managed to only pick up an assist, 5 points. Wissat, who scored 2 goals, 13 points. Chris Wood, very disappointing display against a tough opponent, I might say, against Newcastle, 2 points. Then you had Haaland, who I think only got an assist, or I mean, he scored a goal, but he was on course for 3 bonus points, but picked up a late yellow card, which dropped him to 0 bonus points, so only 10 points for the big man from Man City. Then you had Flecken, who was on the bench. Feels good to finally have some clean sheet points, and from Fabianski, who would have thought. Flecken 1 point, Rogers 1 point as well, and Gabriel, 2 points. I think maybe it's time for him to go. Yeah? They're going for cheap defenders. Then you had Greaves, who I don't know what he's up to, 0 points. So that's the that's the Game Week 11 team review. Let me know in the comments down below how many points you scored and if you're on course for the top 50k as well. So now let's move on to my Game Week 12 transfer thoughts. So now we can look at my Game Week 12 transfer thoughts. Finally, Game Week 12 is here. These are the transfers I'm thinking of doing, and it's from going from Gabriel to Lewis Hall. I mean, Gabriel 6.1 million, and Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet in ages. And I think at 6.1 million, you either have to be keeping clean sheets or at least getting some attacking returns. And of late, he's not been doing either of those. And I think it's time to go for cheaper alternatives in that defense role, but there's not much expectation. So the player I'm going to be going for is Lewis Hall at 4.4 million. As you all know, if you've watched my videos, I started with him in Game Week 1, transferred him out because he was dropping in price, but I think now is the right time to bring him on, especially now with Luis Dunk going to miss the West Ham game through it's not Luis Dunk, sorry, Dan Ban going to miss the West Ham game through suspension. I think Luis Hall will be guaranteed for that game, and he's been playing on the left back position of late. And yeah, I think that's a transfer I'm thinking of doing and hope that it's going to pay out. So now let's look at what my Game Week 12 team is going to be looking like. So my Game Week 12 team are going to be starting off with the goalkeepers and the defenders. And before we proceed, I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm not sure if it's being picked up by the mic, but I'm sorry for the background noise. It's raining and I stay in a very busy area with a lot of cars traveling. So it's not too distracting. So we have Fleck in goal against Everton. Fabianski managed to keep a clean sheet against Everton. So we hope that Flecken can be able to do something similar and Brentford can be able to get their first clean sheet of the season. They're going to have Nikolenko against Brentford. Brentford are high scoring, and unfortunately, Everton have not been high scoring, even though they have had one of the easiest run of fixtures. But I hope that Mikolenko will be able to perform. Maybe get an attacking return or something. Then we have Lewis Hall. Um, I think Newcastle have been keeping clean sheets. I'm not so sure. I think they've kept two clean sheets in their last four fixtures or five fixtures. So, but the reason I'm going for Lewis Hall is just because of his price. Is very cheap, and I think it's also a very good option. I would have gone for Aina from Nottingham Forest, but he's injured, and Nottingham Forest have tough fixtures coming up, so I'm not sure it's worth it going for Aina. And the other defender is going to be Ait Nouri against Fulham. Fulham have been scoring a lot of goals, so I hope that Ait Nouri can be able to get an attacking return as well. That's the defense and the goalkeeping department. Now let's look at the midfielders. So this is how the midfield is looking like. Going to be having Rogers against a struggling Crystal Palace team. That looks good for England as well, and it's been looking good for Aston Villa. Now that he can continue that form, and against Crystal Palace can be able to perform. And then we have Mo Salah against Southampton. As you can see, Mo Salah is going to be the captain for Game Week 12 against a leaky Southampton team. We're also going to be missing out Ramsdale and one of their core defenders as well. So I'm sure of that Mo Salah is going to be able to feast and is going to be able to perform against Southampton. Then we have Smith Rowe against Wolves. Smith Rowe looked very, very good in their last fixture for Fulham before the break. And I hope that he's going to be able to perform against Wolves, who tend to concede a lot of goals. And that that's going to be the case, now that Smith Rowe is going to be involved in that. Then we have Mbuemo against Everton. Everton look very good defensively, to be fair to them, but they usually look a little bit shaky. And Brentford are very high scoring, so I expect very high scoring game, and I hope that Mbeumo is going to be involved and that he's going to be able to perform. So that's the midfield. Now let's look at the forward line. So this is how the forwards are going to be looking like. Going to be having Wissa in there against Everton. Just as I've said about Mbeumo. Everton are very free scoring, and I hope that Wissa can be involved in that, and that is going to be able to have a similar performance to Game 11. Then you have Chris Wood against Arsenal, a pretty hard fixture, but as I usually say, if you're a bagsman, you might score, and that's why it's always better to have all the attackers in there. But yeah, so that's Chris Wood in the team. Then we have Haaland finishing off the team, still holding on to Haaland against Spurs, who are going to be missing out on Van de Ven and maybe Romero as well, because of he went for Argentina and is going to be traveling back, so there might not be as much rest. But I also think because he was carrying a knock or something. So if that's the case, I'd expect Haaland and Man City to be able to perform, that Haaland is going to score a hat trick and prove all the people who sold him wrong. Then we have on the bench Fabianski against Newcastle. Just Isaac is back in form, so that there's going to be a clean sheet. Then you have Kulusevski against Man City. That's a tough fixture in Man City, and of course they're going to be missing their spine in the defense. So yeah, we have Rico Lewis against Spurs. At this moment, don't know if he's going to start or not, so that's why he's going to be on the bench. And then Reeves, I think, who's back in training, but I hope he's going to be back in the team, was up to start performing. So that can be another alternative option to think about in the starting 11. Well, that's the team for Game Week 12. Looks pretty solid. Hope it can be able to outscore the Game Week 11 team as we aim for the top 50k push. And with that, guys, if you managed to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all guys later. Bye bye.